Right, you're under arrest on suspicion of breach of the peace.
No
you don't have to say anything but may on your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you'll later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given.
This episode is brought to us by News Now Yorkshire. Be sure to check the link below and subscribe to his channel and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, Order to News Now Yorkshire is outside Ossett Police Station flying a drone when a tyrant of an officer storms in. He grabs News Now, cuffs him, ignores every attempt to explain the law, and throws him into a then where the ego really comes out. When intimidation doesn't work, the officer escalates again and goes for an arrest. News Now takes it straight to HNK.
I'll ask you again, can I ask you what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm busy, mate.
Yeah. Can I ask you what you're doing?
I'm piloting an aircraft, mate. You'll have to leave me alone because you're endangering the welfare of an aircraft.
You're filming within a police station. I can't have you doing that.
Why?
Because I can't.
Why not?
So bring it down, or else I'll just take the device off you. It's up to you.
Oh, well, that's a bit serious, isn't it?
Bring it down now.
I'm bringing it down.
Bring it down now.
Look, I'm waiting for the cars to pass. It's not safe. Whoa, what was that for? What's that for?
At the moment I'm detaining you, potentially, on terrorist offences.
Okay. Am I under arrest?
I've detained you at the moment.
Okay.
What reason are you filming a police station with a drone?
To make a video.
Of what?
The police.
Doing what?
Working.
Elaborate. What do you mean by working?
Just working. Just mulling about. Cars coming and going.
Do you understand that obviously we're on a high risk with the police and people targeting the police?
Not really.
So you don't watch the news? Police officers and police stations get attacked all the time.
When was the last time a police station was attacked? What, just name the last time a police station was attacked.
I'm asking you the questions. You're not asking me any questions.
I know, I'm asking you a question. Whether you answer, that's a different story.
I'm not going to answer.
Well, don't answer then.
News Now was clearly flying a drone and fully focused on it. But the officer kept stepping in even after being clearly told he was putting the aircraft at risk. Threatening to grab the controller while the drone was still in the air was not proper enforcement. It was dangerous interference. Any sensible officer knows the first priority is to let an aircraft land safely before taking any action. When challenged, the officer fell back on the usual claim that police officers and stations are attacked all the time. But when asked when this last happened, he refused to answer. He couldn't answer because the facts don't support his claim, as there have been no major attacks on UK police stations in recent years that would justify treating a visible, cooperative drone pilot as an immediate threat.
Who are you?
Terrorism legislation doesn't give you the right to my name.
Who are you?
Terrorism legislation doesn't give you the right to my name.
No, but if you're committing offences and I don't know who you are,
yeah,
then I can arrest you.
What
and then
offences have I committed?
we'll work out at the police station.
What offences have I committed? You're twisting the cuff.
I'm not twisting the cuff at all. I'm just holding it.
What offences have I committed? None.
That's what I'm trying to establish now.
Well, establish that then before you put cuffs on me.
No.
Bloody hell.
I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are.
And I can't have you running away.
I don't know who you are.
I'm a police officer, you can clearly see that.
I'm a member of the public, you can clearly see that.
I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are.
If we suspect you committing an offence, we just need to find out who you are.
Yeah, but what offence do you suspect me of committing?
You can't be, it's a restricted area, you can't be flying a drone or... Is it been flying a drone?
Yeah.
Of course I can.
No, you see all this, like, so that sharp stuff on the fence, all
yeah.
So people can't get inside.
Yeah, but you don't own the airspace. Can a plane fly over the top?
That's a little bit different, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's exactly the same.
It is a little bit.
No, it's exactly the same.
Authorisation.
I had authorisation yesterday by the Civil Aviation Authority to fly over Ellen Road, and that's exactly what I did.
The claim about a restricted area is where the argument completely breaks down. In the UK, airspace is not controlled by individual officers or police forces. It is regulated nationally by the Civil Aviation Authority. If drone flying were truly banned in that area, the restriction would be officially defined, publicly published, and enforced under CA rules, not suddenly declared by an officer who feels uneasy. What this situation really shows is a lack of proper training. Drone use is now common, yet these officers clearly don't understand where their authority ends and where the CAA's authority begins. Instead of knowing the basic rules about who controls airspace, what counts as a real restriction, and what powers police actually have, they rely on confidence and assumptions rather than facts.
Alright, so
you don't need
so you had to have authority to do it?
Over Ellen Road because of the stadium. You don't need the authorisation here.
So you've not contacted anyone from West Yorkshire Police?
Today?
Yeah.
No. You don't need to.
It would be an ideal situation if you were to do that one.
Maybe so, yeah. Maybe so. Yeah.
Who are you?
What's your name?
PC Calvo 5822.
Or someone will be putting a complaint in about you.
What's your YouTube account?
I can't tell you that, mate. Not while he's here.
I've just told you who I am. I need to establish who you are.
Well, you won't be.
So cuffs have been applied to prevent your disappearance, which is...
Disappearance for what though? But what do you suspect me of doing?
Potentially committing terrorism offences.
Okay. Well, if you suspect me of committing a terrorism offence, then you should arrest me, shouldn't you? Got HNK solicitors on speed dial, don't we know?
Have you got anything on you that may harm me or my colleagues?
No.
Okay.
And nothing that will let you know who I am either, so you'll be wasting your time.
So what you're telling me that if I were to let you go, you're just going to continue filming with the drone?
That was my plan, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Maybe I'll go sort my wrists out now at the doctors.
At the doctors?
Yeah, because you're still hurting them.
I'm just holding on to them. I don't want you to use them as a weapon.
I'm not going to use them as a weapon. I'm no threat to you.
News Now is calm, cooperative, not resisting, and already in handcuffs, which should have ended any use of force. Instead, the officer keeps grabbing and twisting the cuffs. When someone is restrained and compliant, force serves no purpose except punishment, and policing is not about causing pain to teach lessons. What makes it even worse is that News Now is already crouched in the back of a van, with no chance of escape, no threat, and no reason for further physical action. Continuing to adjust and twist the cuffs at that point is not about safety. It shows an officer who cannot switch off and feels the need to dominate once he has made up his mind.
I don't know who you are.
Well,
so I can't check you out.
I'm trying to alleviate your concerns.
No. Well, you've told me nothing that
well, I've told you that I'm not a threat.
Alleviates my threat.
I'm told you that I'm not a threat. I am allowed to be here. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not committing any offences.
Well,
I'm trying to alleviate your
At the very least,
concern.
you're breaching the peace because
breaching the peace.
There's members of the public that potentially could be in danger with what you're doing.
No one even knew I had a drone there.
Doesn't matter.
Until you tried to hit me with your van and then call me a clown.
If there's no aviation breaches, then we're going to go breach of peace because it's going to continue to do it and potentially put members of the public at harm.
I'm not. I've been trained to fly this drone safely.
You haven't told me who you are, so we can't check you out.
News Now is flying a DJI Mini, a drone under 250 grams that is specifically designed to reduce risk. It is small, light, and commonly used in public places without issue. There is no crowd panic, no disorder, and no reaction from the public at all, just an officer claiming there is a danger because it suits the situation. What really exposes the officer is his desperation. He is not responding to any real threat, but instead searching for any excuse to justify what he has already done. Moving from claims of terrorism to identity checks, restricted airspace, and then breach of the peace shows this was not intelligence-led or reasonable policing. It was an officer forcing the situation to fit his actions.
You know, for us to check, like, if you have a license to
yeah.
Is that what you have?
Yeah.
Okay, is your name on that license?
Potentially.
Potentially, right. You see where I'm going with this. We just need to kind of identify that you've got a license to be able to do so and so. It's like I'm driving a car. Have you got a license to drive this car? Yeah, I can see it. That's my name, right. So that's your name. I can confirm it by picture your license.
But there's legislation involved in driving cars.
Sorry?
There is in flying drones.
So what is it? There's a legislation.
You tell me you're a member of the aviation authority or
Did I? I never said that.
And that you've signed up.
I never said that.
You seem to have more knowledge than me.
I do. That is correct.
Oh, you enlighten us then. You educate us.
I don't want to educate you. I charge for my services.
So have you got an operator ID number?
Yes.
And what is it?
Are we talking about terrorism or are we talking about drones?
Talking about drones.
We're talking about drones. So why am I still in handcuffs? If you want to uncuff me and we want to have a conversation, there is, you know...
You're still a threat to me because I don't know who you are.
I'm not a threat to you. I'm not a threat to anybody. It's ridiculous, mate. You come up to me, try to hit me with your van, call me a clown and then put cuffs on me, said I was a terrorist. And now you want me to help you out?
I said you were a terrorist.
And educate you.
I said I've detained you.
Under terrorism legislation.
Believing you potentially you could be a terrorist or committing terrorism
Right, well,
offences.
to use terrorism legislation, you have to reasonably suspect that the person you're dealing with is, in fact, a terrorist.
This is likely the moment HNK realized the case was an easy win, because the officer exposes his own contradiction. The discussion moves away from terrorism and focuses only on the drone, and News Now immediately points this out by asking whether the issue is terrorism or drones. The officer clearly answers that it is about drones, and that answer is crucial because it removes the only excuse he had for keeping News Now detained. He then makes things worse by saying he never called News Now a terrorist. That statement is not calming or helpful. It is an admission. Detaining someone under terrorism laws requires reasonable suspicion about the person, not just a general concern about equipment or location. By admitting he did not believe News Now was a terrorist, the officer effectively admits that the legal threshold for detention was never met.
So you reasonably suspect that I am in fact a terrorist? No. So then take the cuffs
I'm
off
shaking my
me.
head in bewilderment.
Well, why? Because you're bewildered that I know so much about the legislation?
No, you've read something and it's not true.
I've read lots of things on legislation.gov.uk.
Well done. Are you going to give us your name?
Do I have to give you my name?
Yeah, because now you're telling us that you've got something with the Civil Aviation Authority, an ID number, and we need to establish that.
Yeah.
So who are you?
Well, if you knew the legislation, you'd know where to find the ID number, wouldn't you?
The ID number, you need to tell me your ID number and your name, please.
Under what law? Under what law says that I have to do that?
Right, I'm just going to lock him up for breach of peace.
Okay.
Right, you're under arrest on suspicion of breach of the peace.
No
You don't have to say anything but may on your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.
Okay, dokie. So we spoke to HNK solicitors, and they dealt with everything. They literally dealt with everything, guys, and I can't thank them enough for the effort that they put in. £3,500 in compensation, which is absolutely brilliant. And again, a big thank you to HNK solicitors for sorting that out.
That arrest was not about public order. It was about silencing someone who had just exposed how weak the officer's decisions were from the very beginning, and what happened afterward proves it. News Now handed the case to HNK, and all the confidence disappeared behind closed doors, with no courtroom battle and no attempt to defend the officer's actions. Just a £3,500 payout to make the problem go away. That amount shows the force had no confidence at all in justifying the arrest, because compensation is paid when the evidence, contradictions, and misuse of powers make defeat unavoidable. This situation should never have escalated from a normal drone flight into force, handcuffs, and an arrest. When you strip away the noise, it becomes clear the officer's decisions were driven by irritation, not real risk. Each time News Now calmly explained the law, the officer responded by escalating instead of reconsidering, showing it was never about safety or cooperation. It was about an officer who could not accept being corrected and chose authority over accuracy every time. The reasons kept changing, from drones to restricted areas to breach of the peace, because none of them were strong enough on their own, and each new excuse was used to cover the last mistake. News Now didn't win by shouting or provoking. He won by staying calm and consistent while the officer's logic fell apart. In the end, the £3,500 compensation does not come from the officer personally. It comes from taxpayers' money that should be funding proper policing, better training, and real public safety, not paying for one officer's failure to act lawfully and